Hello friends, good to be back with you again with the same series on fear. How many of you encounter this kind of questions or this kind of behaviors in your life where you can't speak up in any relationship, be it with your parents or with your spouse or in a relationship with your colleagues or with your boss, or where you can't stand up for yourself, or where you can't express yourself, or where you can't ask for the money that has to come to you because that's your right. How many of you have seen these kind of situations in your life? And many more situations like this where you don't open up because you think that you are going to get hurt or somebody else is going to get hurt if you open up and talk. Many of you, right? Why is that we have these behaviors? Why is that we have these statements coming up all through our life? What will happen if you stand up for yourself? What will happen if you open up and start speaking your heart out? What will happen if you go ask your boss the money that you're supposed to receive? What will happen if you go and ask for your promotion from your boss? The answer that we generally get is like nothing. But internally, we all have some kind of a fear. We don't want to raise conflicts in our relationships. We don't want to have a tough time going ahead with these people in our life, right? So to avoid conflict, what you do is to keep yourself shut. You don't open up yourself. You don't express your feelings. You let go of the money that you're supposed to get. Just to keep that relationship intact, just to keep it safe, you kill your heart from within yourself. How does this relationship work when you're not able to express yourself, when you're not supposed to speak, when you're not able to stand up for yourself? It is contracting from within self, right? It is more like a slavery. You're not supposed to do so many things because there can be a conflict, there can be a hurt. There is quite a possibility that the relationship can break. So how long do you want to be in this slavery? How long do you want to kill yourself so as to keep up a relationship alive? Now, wait for a minute. Ask for yourself, what will happen if there is a conflict? What's the worst thing that's going to happen if there is a conflict? Now, don't say nothing. Listen to that small little inner voice that you have within yourself. Allow it to speak up. If there is a conflict, then there is quite a possibility that the other person may not like you speaking up, may not like you standing up for yourself, may not like you confronting with them. Likewise, many things will come up, right? So what will happen if you start standing up for yourself and the other person is not liking? Then the general fear what we have is that the other person may reject us, may abandon us, may disown us, and our relationship can break, right? So if this happens, what will happen? Have the courage to look into these questions straight into their face and ask yourself, what's the worst thing that's going to happen if there is a conflict, if the other person is going to let you go from their life and he or she is no more traveling in your life journey? When you start answering these questions, when you start looking into these questions straight onto the face, half the problem would get solved. You will be able to understand why do you think that somebody else is going to reject you. Is it that you are rejecting yourself or somebody else outside of you rejecting yourself? Once you answer this question, this particular fear of conflict will be gone forever from your life. Would you be interested in looking at your life, situations, answering these questions? If yes, have the courage to look straight into these situations and answer these questions, and it doesn't take a lot of time. It just takes about 5-10 minutes. And let go of this fear of conflict and start living a life which is pretty open and happy for yourself. and for other people too. You're no more in the slavery, you're no more binding into any kind of a relationship, right? So have this courage to look into these particular fears, whatever you have, whatever statements that are coming up, look straight into their face and address them. These fears are rooting up from the sense of or the fear of rejection or fear of abandonment. And this fear of rejection can be the base for many other fears that may pop up in our life on a day-to-day basis. So we'll look at what this fear of rejection is all about in the coming episodes. If you think this content would be helpful for your friends and your family members, please feel free to pass it on to the people, to your family, to your friends, and help them to get over this fear of conflict. We'll see other powers of fear in the coming episodes. Until then, have a wonderful week ahead, and thank you for watching this video. Thank you.